One moment. That's what this season boils down to. One moment, one tournament, one chance to make the FLW BFL All-American, a nationally televised and life-changing event. But first, to be there, you have to get there. And that means beating some of the toughest competitors on a lake that you've never been to. It's not going to be easy, and it shouldn't be. To make a tournament of any championship is going to be hard, much less one that people work their entire lives to try to qualify for just once or twice. It's a tournament that can change lives, and to be there takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of luck and a lot of skill. Really, your entire season, success or failure, can come down to one cast, one fish, one missed opportunity at this tournament. It could cost you an opportunity of a lifetime. And I'm ready to put it all on the line. This is it. This is my video. Up and coming tournament series season finale here on Lake Norman. Let's go. This is it. The FLW Regional Championship. I've worked all year, 5 events, grinding through heartache, broken lines, lost fish, boat mechanic failures, and a few successes to get here. And so now more than ever, I'm putting my head down and I'm going to try my absolute hardest to make this the best tournament I've ever had. A top 6 is all that I can ask for. It's all that I can go for, and I'm aiming for nothing less this week here on Lake Norman. So to start off, this season has been one of really a lot of highs and lows. I've had some great moments and I've had some bad moments. You know, I've had tournaments, I've had many. It's the story of my career is my boat breaking down, and you know, in all the events, in all the things, I've been able to get through it. But even here at Lake Norman, I can't avoid the breakdowns. It's no different. My boat is not acting right, and it really started idling rough all Monday. The next morning, Tuesday morning, I take it to a local shop here in Lake Norman. They spend all morning and all early afternoon working on it and trying to figure out what the problem is. But by the time they figured out what the problem was, it was really pretty much too late to fix it. And so I went ahead, hit up, I phoned a friend, I phoned David Dudley and asked, hey, I'm in desperate need of a boat. Is there any way I could borrow yours? He was gracious enough to offer it to me for a couple days here on Lake Norman. And so that's how I got to spend the tournament. And Lake Norman, if you guys don't know, is one of the best fisheries in the southeastern United States. There are a ton of fish. The day before the event, the Wednesday of practice that I got, it was just unbelievably easy. I mean, it was unbelievable. It took nothing to get bites. And so coming into the event, I knew that the fishing was going to be good, but the thing is, it was going to be good for everyone is what I thought. And so I knew you were still going to have to find a way to power through and just get a couple better quality bites. That's what separates you on Lake Norman. Get out there, day 1 starts, and pretty much in typical Jack fashion, everything pretty much starts falling apart right from the get-go. I mean, I start driving out there and Lake Norman got rough, and running across the lake that morning, I noticed that the front graph on David's boat didn't look very secure. And we hit a couple waves and all of a sudden that thing starts rocking. My co-angler dives, he grabs the unit to make sure it won't fall off, and we look at it and the entire mounting bracket had ripped up from the carpet floorboard. I don't know how secure it's gonna be. So suddenly what I've been down here practicing and looking around for, graphing, looking for brush piles and anything offshore to catch fish, suddenly that's all out. That's gone. My unit doesn't work. I can't fish that way. But I figured it'd be okay. I mean, Lake Norman is full of fish, and I was catching a ton. So I just start rolling through some of the areas where I was getting bites and just keeping an open mind. I roll up to a set of docks that were really good, and I had one that had a massive brush pile under it. And I roll up there first thing, and I throw my bait in there, throw my bait in there, throw my bait in there, throw my bait in there. Nothing. That was kind of the warning sign that things might not go so well. So we fished around. I started running around. I started spinning out a little bit. Fished, went up the river some, came back down, and went up again, and then came back down, and fished docks, tried fishing offshore shoals without a graph, and it really was kind of a mess. And lo and behold, look at the clock, it's 1:30. I don't have a bite. Not a keeper at 1:30 on the first day of the tournament on Norman. And I couldn't believe it. There's a turtle.
Turtle!
Mud line being blown off this bank. But this dock looks old and it looks like a fishing boat. And that's always a good sign. Usually that means whenever there's an old boat, the older the dock and they've got a fishing boat or fishing poles, they probably, yeah, then they definitely, there's a great chance. Net. Yeah. Net. Oh, never mind. He's come here. He might keep. Oh, he's gonna be close. Please be 14. That'd be so nice. Oh my gosh, he's 15 inches long. He's skinny. All right. Excuse me. Thank you, sir. All right, we got a limit to catch. We gotta get to work. None of this goofing off. They're starting to bite a little bit. He's little. I got it. Might as well run around. That's probably a 13-incher. Run around, look for old docks. Oh no. Where'd it go?
It's under the stinking boat. What is it?
My flip-flop.
I thought we were digging for a rod.
Trust me, there'd be a little bit more freak out. What's the secret to catching the big one you caught? I need it. Keep throwing? That's probably the best advice in all of fishing. This is the same kind of spot as the other side, even though it's a little bit shallower. It's channel swings against here. Yeah, he's little. He might keep, but he's not big.
Yeah?
Nah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I guess they're so skinny. How come you get the big ones? Us three though. I will take that. We got work to do. Net. I think he'll keep. He might. It's gonna be close. Don't worry, I got him. I'm just barely fucking. He's be 14. I don't think he is. My reel back reeled. dang reel. Oh my gosh, it's.
Just pull one more time.
What, the back? Dude, it's back reeling. I think it's broken. Thank you. That'll keep, honey. Dang thing broke. Why is it everything breaks when I'm fighting a fish? Come on now. One fish. One fish. Net. Net on the side. Thank you. I'll be 14 inches. That ought to do it, dude. If anything, that was a mental battle to win. Oh my gosh. Let's keep it. Mental battle to win. It wasn't big. I mean, it's not like it's a big one, but or even a good limit, but just to get 5 after everything that went wrong, just nothing worked all day. Oh my gosh. Thank you, God. Now we just need big ones. You know, it's 2:30 and I'm real close to a limit. I finally get that 5th one. And so, finish my limit with only like, really 30 minutes left in the day. And start fishing, keep fishing docks. I'm gonna keep it down. The fish, throughout that afternoon, from about 1:30, they started biting. But with every passing minute, they got more and more active and they started biting farther up the docks. At first, you were catching them pitching to the very end of the dock. And by the end of the day, they were all the way up on the bank part. Oh yeah, I guess so. He was running at me. I thought he was little. Nice catch. Thank you. I'll call one of them. And so, roll up on a good-looking dock, and I throw my drop shot under there, and it knocks. He tightens up. I take my little favorite jackhammer rod. I set the hook, and he's coming. It's a good one. Come on, 5-pounder. Yeah, that's gonna help big time. Just let it go. It doesn't matter if it has much of it. Come on, he don't like the net. Come on, boy. It's the best one I've had all day. In fact, one of the best ones I've had all week. And I get him up next to the boat. It's a good one. And my co-owner comes up with the net, and there's a hook tangled in the net, and he's trying to get it out, and I'm like, just go for the fish. And he's like, oh, he almost had it. And he's like, okay, I got it. And by the time he comes back around, the fish does a loop, and right there at the boat, comes off. And I dive and try to grab it, and it's too late. It's gone. Dang it. That's all right. Next time, just leave the hook in it next time. Like if it's a choice between swinging on it and dang it, that would have helped. Ouch. Well. I knew this dock looked good. Dang, that hurts, son. Well, I got a chance of redemption. And that's gonna help too. Dude, there's another one with it. There's another one too. There was another one just as big with it. Throw in there, dude. That ain't gonna be as big, but as that one, but yeah, it's definitely good. We still got it. We probably gotta call it here. Like, I think it was 1, Yeah, they're cookie cutters. Dang, I can't believe I lost the big one. Why'd they have to wait till the last second to start biting? Always the last second. Dang. What's it reading on the clock? We gotta go. Good fishermen get up and fish. So I jump right up, back up, thread my worm on, fire it back under the dock, lift up, tink, and it starts swimming off, and I catch a good one. It wasn't as good as the other one, but it was another good one, another call. And so in the final 30 minutes, made a few critical calls and ran all the way back to Blythe Landing and weighed in. And
You won the super tournament at Wiley.
85,
Good job,
Jack.
Michael. You bet.
Yep.
Bart Beasley, 29th. Bart again, never
Bumper.
touring, man.
Good job, man.
Thank you.
Not at all. Jack Dice from Lynchburg, Virginia, fishing on the boater side. Number 10 man out of Piedmont. 5 fish for Jack. Weighing 9 pounds 5 ounces, Jack. That's good for 8th place right now, man.
8th?
I'm telling you,
What?
it's fishing tough.
I mean, I didn't have a fish at 1:30,
Nothing till 1:30. That's why you never give up out here.
That first day, though, it could have been easily an incredible train wreck. You know, missed fish, not having a fish in the boat at 1:30, things falling apart, running around like a madman. At the end of the day, I was very happy with it, just to have a limit and to just kind of, you know, fix the problem, to have nothing and then go to something. And so I was very happy with it. Had like 9 pounds 5 ounces, sitting 30th place out of almost 180 people. And I was pretty happy with it to start. You know, obviously I wanted to be better, but it would keep me in it. I knew it would keep me in the event, and I could go out the next day and I had a chance. I had a chance to catch them. But I had to figure out how to catch them early and see if I could get a few better bites, because I knew that was what I was gonna need to make the top 12. Day 2 rolls around and I get out there, get to fishing, and I'm just excited to be out there. I'm just happy to be in it, happy to have a chance, happy to have a boat that's running, and to know that I'm on a great lake. And so I was really happy. I went out pretty calm that second day, even though I had some opportunity. I knew I had to catch them. I went out feeling pretty good. So to start off the day, I tried to run some different stuff. I tried my best to run a little bit of offshore stuff without a graph, and I tried running some different areas and ran through some docks, got a few bites, but not what I was looking for. So I decided to roll back into the primary area where I caught them a little bit later in the day, and I roll up on one of my key docks with some brush piles under it, and I sit there and I just soak my bait in that dock, and I end up catching 2 or 3 keepers and catching a few more real shorts right there. So I got this ball rolling at 10 o'clock, I've got fish in the live well. So in my mind, I'm hours ahead of schedule. So again, I decided to go with the flow, keep fishing docks because it's all I can do, and just keep fishing new docks. Yeah, he's got another one with it. 2 or 3. I think he's bigger than any I got. Number 1 is this one. Yeah, he ain't gonna beat number 1, I don't think. Come on, man. Prime time, it's late in the afternoon, they're starting to bite. It's the time they started biting the day before. I'm ready. I roll back through and I catch another couple fish, and I skip my little nail weight worm up to a dock, and it's the right time of day, and it ticks and it starts swimming off, and I set the hook, and it's a good one. And I fight it and I get it to the boat, and my conger nets it. It's a good one. It's almost 3 pound spot, which at Lake Norman this time of year, that's big. And so put it in the boat and I felt really good. But I had a limit. To have a limit and to have a good one, I felt I felt good about it, but I knew I needed more. In my heart, I knew I needed one or probably two more just like that big one I'd caught if I was gonna make the final day.
No. Stuck him good at least. Where did the big ones go?
But I fished around, I went through some of my critical docks where I'd caught some good ones or schools of fish, and I just couldn't pick up any more fish. It just kind of started dying off, and I couldn't catch any more fish that would help. I ran through an area that I'd caught them in practice and hadn't fished in the event, and rolled through there and caught a bunch of fish, but none that were gonna make the cut. And so at the end of the day, I had to run back, and that was all I could do. It was 5 fish and one better one.
One of the shortest times I've ever had to wait for a bag in my life, especially being boat 93 on Lake Norman. This. $93.
Five and five. West Virginia fishing on the boater side. 9.5 yesterday for Jack. 5 in the bag today, just a little bit more than yesterday, Jack. 9 pounds, 10 ounces for a total of 18 pounds and 15 ounces. Good for 6th place right now, Jack.
How many weighed in?
54.
54. All right.
You want me to say like 154, wasn't you?
Yeah, I know.
I didn't think it was gonna cut it. I thought maybe I'll get a check. Only the top 12 make the final day, make championship Saturday. And so, in my mind, I wasn't gonna make it. But, you know, what the heck. I had parked, a truck and trailer were on the other side of the lake. I was gonna have to run back. And so I knew that, you know, if I had to stay. There's a mandatory meeting for top 12 immediately after the weigh-in. And you have to be there. So I said, if the tiniest chance that I make it, I have to be here. And I said, well, it's only gonna take a minute. It's only gonna take a few minutes for them to bump me out, and I can clean up the boat and get everything ready to go home. And so I'm sitting there, and suddenly we're getting near the end of the weigh-in, and he's calling out what the cut weight is, and it's 18 pounds, 10 ounces. And then there's almost a few guys left, and it's 18 pounds, 13 ounces. And I had 18.15. And suddenly, they're getting near the end, and I'm on the edge of my seat. And one other guy comes in, and he beats me by an ounce. And suddenly, I'm on the bubble. I'm 12th man. I'm the last guy. And I'm just waiting for my name, you know, to bump out. And then suddenly, they're making last call. They're saying, anyone else who has the fish to weigh in, come weigh them.
Boat 10, Michael Fox. Boat 11, Kyle Fisher. This is the one that's all suspenseful right here.
That's
Last
me.
boat in tomorrow.
Come on, please be me.
It's Jack Dyke.
Ah!
And no one did. And what do you know? 2 measly 9.5 pound bags get me. I'm in 12th place. I'm made championship Saturday.
Bleachers are around those bleachers.
By nothing.
And I was ecstatic. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe that it had happened. I had just gotten a few of the right bites. Things hadn't gone that well. I just caught a limit both days. So to make it, that was huge. That was super huge, and I was, you know, excited. I knew I was a little ways back though. Looking at the weights, 6th place and above make the All-American. And 6th place after 2 days was a pretty decent weight. I was several pounds back of that. So I knew really realistically going into the final day that I was gonna need a very big bag if I even wanted to have a chance to make the All-American. And so it really relieved a lot of pressure. I didn't have much. All I knew is that I was gonna enjoy it. I was gonna try to give all the glory to God that I could by fishing my best and just enjoy it and see if I can go try to catch the biggest bag I can, but know that if I don't, I fish my best and I tried my best and I had a great event either way. So without further ado, the third day started and we got to blast off in the top 12 boats heading out for a shot at the All-American.
Good job, guys. Tough to make it to day 3. You thought there was pressure today? No. Good luck on getting some sleep tonight.
The thing about tournament fishing is, especially multi-day events, and what I love about multi-day events is that conditions change. We saw it from practice to the tournament. We had a cold front come through, bluebird skies, and the fishing got brutal tough. And to go from that, from what it was in practice, just being on fire, it shows you that conditions can change rapidly. And we had another condition change coming in that final day. We had clouds, it warmed up, we got some rain, and I knew fishing was gonna be different. I was gonna have to approach it differently and just go fishing. So to start out that morning, I decided to fish differently than I had all of the week, and I just went straight to some offshore shoals and humps, and I went real shallow on them, where I could cast and at the markers, and I could know where I was, even though I didn't have a graph really working up in the front. And so we start out there in the morning, me and my co-angler, and boom, boom, we start catching a few keepers. We caught a few fish to start, and every shoal we hit, we'd catch a keeper. Before we know it, it's mid-morning, it's about 9 or 10 o'clock, and I got three or four in the well, and he's got like 3 or 4 in the well. It was looking pretty good. I was just happy to get some bites going early, and the rain had started, so I couldn't film, which was disappointing, but it was about that time of day. It was 10 o'clock, and I'm thinking, it's time to go start running my dock pattern. I gotta give it a try. I rolled up on a deeper stretch of docks, because it seems like with the cooler weather that they had pulled off to those, and I didn't know it at the time, but the water had actually dropped almost 2 feet that final day, and those deeper docks were actually the ones that were best because they were holding the most water. And so I pull up on a stretch of docks, and I'm fishing through it, I feel set the hook, and I catch one of my better fish of the day. I got number 4. Roll up along to a little gut between 2 docks, and I catch a squeaker. It's barely 14, but it's 14 inches, and it's the minimum length, and it gets me a limit on the final day. From there, I thought, you know what? I just need a big bite. I need some big bites. I have to catch them, and the docks is the way to do it. I've caught my best fish doing it so far. And all my good fish, every fish I've weighed in this event has come off a dock. All my good ones, my best one today has. It's giving me a hope that I can still do it despite the changing conditions. This week on Norman, there were a few key setups that I used to catch some of my better quality fish. And really, for me, number one, it came down to a bait and a rod and a reel that I just have an incredible amount of confidence in, and that's the Favorite Rods jackhammer. Now, this is a better quality, higher dollar rod and reel, but in tournament situations like this, it's invaluable. I use the 7.2 heavy. It's actually a pretty soft tip for a heavy, and it's the perfect rod. It's my absolute favorite rod that Favorite makes. And I was throwing that, I was using 15-pound braid to an 8 or a 6-pound leader, depending on whether I was throwing a nail-weighted wacky worm or a drop shot with a Morning Dawn robo worm, and I was throwing that along docks, and it was certainly the difference this week. And this rod, I mean, I can't say enough, it was so sensitive. Those bites this week were real finicky. You had to feel them, and the Favorite Rods jackhammer got it done. So I started running around. I ran up to this saw a good looking dock in a pocket, and I pull up to it, and I fire my drop shot under it, and it just loads up. And I fought that fish, I set the hook, and the drag started going. And I knew it was a good one. And I called my co-angler up, he got the net, I fought the fish all the way up, makes one surge, I get its head turned, it comes back, he nets it. It's my biggest fish of the week, almost a 4-pound spotted bass, and it just completely changed the day. Culled out that little rat, and suddenly I've got a semi-decent bag, and with one big fish, I'm really thinking I have a shot at that 12, 13-pound bag that I need to have a shot at the All-American. I just need 1 or 2 more good bites. And so with that in mind, I said, you know what? I got my best bites all week on docks. I just got my biggest one I've ever caught on Norman on the dock. We have to stay and just fish as many as possible. And so that's what I did the rest of the day. I ran around, fished docks, and started catching a few fish, but the bite really fizzled. I stopped catching the good quality that I needed, and 3 o'clock rolls around and we have to head in. And so that's all I could do, is the one good one and a couple keepers to go with it.
You want me to hold your bag once you... Come here, rascal. Golly, kid. 5 of those, we would have made it.
A piece.
Oh my gosh.
Across the stage.
Make sure you get a picture of that favorite logo when I'm up there.
You need 5 of them, you got?
I got it. Because I'm going to be leading because I'm the first one to weigh in.
Pounds, 7 ounces. To knock
Golly, they woke up.
Coming up, Jack Dice, 12th place boater from Lynchburg, Virginia. 18 pound, 15 ounces for Jack.
We ready?
And I always have, yeah, I'm ready. You nervous too, Jack?
A little, but I'm a little far out of it, but I'm enjoying it. I'm just lucky to be in here.
There you go. Enjoy the moment, man, because it's hard to get here. 4 pound, 11 ounces to knock Jake out of that hot seat. Well, Jake, I think you may be standing up pretty quick, but
get the pace a little.
Man standing. 5 fish for Jack, coming in at 10 pound, 5 ounces for a total of 29 pound, 4 ounces, puts Jack Dice in first place.
Can I hold up a big one?
You can hold up the big one. Absolutely, that's our leader right there. Good job, Jack.
Thank you.
There you go.
Good luck to you.
Now, have a seat. That's yours, man. You like that?
I like
It's
it.
pretty good. Like I said, it's only worth a new boat and $20,000.
I don't think it's going to hold up, but...
So it ought to be pretty comfortable.
And I knew it was the biggest bag I'd had all week, but in my mind, it wasn't gonna be enough. I roll into weigh-in, we get to come, they load up the boats, we load them with fish, we drive to Bass Pro to weigh in front of a crowd. It was one of the coolest experiences I've had in fishing so far. And being number 12 boat, I got to be the first one to weigh in, and so I actually got the chance to take the hot seat and lead the tournament for a moment or two. But I really was just enjoying it. I didn't really think I had much of a shot, and it only took 2 guys to bump me out of first, and I had to sit down. And
Jack knocked you out by 7 ounces, young man, but still definitely a great tournament for you, brother.
So in my mind, that was it. I lost it. And so went back inside. I actually went into the bathroom before I come back out, and I check out the weigh-in, and man, half the guys have gone through, and I'm still in the top 6. And another guy blanks, and another guy blanks, and another guy only has 2 fish. And suddenly, with only a few guys left, it's looking kind of close. And finally, I'm sitting in 6th place with 3 guys left, and the guy weighs in, and he weighs in 10 pounds, and he bumps me out. I'm in 7th place. And the final 2 guys weighed in though, and they didn't have anything. In fact, I beat them both. And so, despite when it was all said and done and the weights were counted up, I ended up the tournament in 7th place, 5 ounces out of the All-American. And I was pretty heartbroken. I couldn't believe that it was going to be that close, and I couldn't believe that it ended so close. It was a tournament that was really weird because it really had all the essence of the Potomac River tournament, where things worked that shouldn't have worked. Things felt like they fell into place. It really felt like it was meant to be. And so to have it just come up short after all that, I couldn't believe it. I was almost like, when are they going to call that there was been a mistake, or that I'm going to make it anyway, or, but it never happened. And I didn't make it. And so looking back, I said on day 1 that fish I lost at the boat was going to cost me. I thought it would cost me the top 12 when I was sitting there pacing. And I said, it might cost me All-American. I thought, wouldn't that be funny if it cost me the All-American? And it did. So, all in all, I had a few mistakes, and you can't have mistakes. I've been very fortunate in tournament fishing. I have lost very few fish in my career. So, to lose one when it counts most really hurt. But that's what it takes to make the national championship, to be one of the top 45 of all the regional guys. You have to fish flawless, and I didn't. I missed 1 or 2 critical bites, and that cost me. It's really one of those bittersweet things, because to make a top 12 in a multi-day event against tons of locals, I mean, that final day was full of guys, local Norman hammers. So to be there on the final day, competing against them and holding my ground against them in a big tournament like that really felt good. I'm just excited for next year. I think that's all I can take away from this tournament, is being thankful for what you have when you have it. It's like so easy to say thank you, God, for everything you have when things are going right, and it's so easy to ask for God for help when things are going wrong. But it's almost hardest when it's just short, to say it felt like it was going to happen and didn't, and to say, you know what, I'm gonna try to praise Him and give Him the glory that I can anyway. So that's what I try to do with this event, and in the end, I'm very thankful for it, and I'm just gonna be happy that I had the opportunity. So I'm more than excited. I cannot wait. I'm literally counting down the days until next year starts to get out there. I'm already biting at the bit. I wish there was a tournament next weekend and the next and the next, because I'm just ready to get it started. I'm ready to work my way up. I'm ready to give me another shot at making the All-American. So that's it. That's my up-and-coming story, and that's the deal. We're still up. We're still on the coming. We didn't make it. We got another year, and we're going to try again.